Hey guys, how are you? Today is Tuesday. Let's do a trade review. So first of all, I'll show you my Excel document or trade review, whatever you want to call it here. So I had 9 trades in total and pretty good win rate. I had 7 out of 9 were winners and I had 2 losers, which we're going to go over in the video here. So we're doing pretty well overall. I caught a nice long right off the open and that was a great long, and I cut it early, but I wanted to lock in profit anyhow. So then I had a few winners here and then I had 2 1R losers that we're going to go over in the video. So let's go over it here. This is my recording of today's session, July 14th, and we're going to go over it. We'll try and keep this video to around 10-12 minutes like usual, and we'll see what we can do. We'll discuss some tape reading aspects and things that I look for when I'm trading. If you didn't know, I'm a scalper and I basically look for short-term momentum in these markets. This is the open of the market. Basically, I can't really go over with you the exact reason for taking all of these trades, but I will show you the trades. So you're going to see here I get long as we start to see a large amount of momentum up into these 510s here, okay? And it helps that yesterday was quite bearish, but you're going to see, look at this momentum here, and you're going to see me get long. So this 509.50 area, I'm looking at that and I'm like, all right, it's time to do it. I get long. I get filled at 514, and then sooner or later we're trading at 520. So look at that momentum right there, extreme bull momentum, and I'm trailing that stop up right away, 530, 540 almost, and I should be out right here. So I get filled at 533, and you're going to see, look at how the price is reacting here. Let's continue to watch, because you're going to see that I did in fact cut it too early based on the amount of momentum we had, but look at that, more pushing up to the 40s. And we keep trading higher, all the way almost at 600. So 570s, 580s, and then we're meeting up with that VWAP in the 580s. So I cut it at 530. I missed out on a solid 40 more handles of profit or more there. But, you know, better profit than not. So nice long trade off the open here, big momentum up. And then I don't think I traded for a while. So let's see what happened here. So you're going to see the prices coming to interact with the VWAP and pushing that 600 area. I was thinking about a short there, didn't quite grab it. And then we had the bull right at the moving average around those 10 550s, and then the bulls managed to come back and push this up 600 for a second leg higher. Okay, I think I did take a short scalp right here. It was a very quick scalp. So you're going to see me get short right here around 580, and it's just really the momentum. So I'm looking for some longs to kind of be panicking a little bit here, and really what made me do that is, so you see how we're bottoming at this 590 and it looks like we're meeting up with the VWAP, but that support again is too obvious. So I would expect an undershoot of that level before buyers come in and have more confidence. See the sellers push it here, they're going to try to push it under 590, and that's where I start to get interested, and you're going to see me get it right there. I should have gotten right there a little earlier. It's all about speed in this game right here. So you're going to see it trade lower into the 70s, and then I'm locking in a stop, and I should be out right now. Yeah, there we go. So I get filled at 79, and then we managed to trade a lot lower. In fact, could have trailed the stop, but better safe than sorry on that one. Managed to come all the way down here, and now this is where I start messing up. Okay, so market just had a beautiful move down, and for some reason I wanted to get long here because this looks like the kind of move where we're sweeping the order book. Now I messed this up, and you're going to see what happens here. So I get long right here around these 530s, and we have a bit of a push, and then the sellers answer right away and stop me out. So we're arguing here around these 30s, more sellers. So right there, that I think that would have been enough for me to get out. And then we had the sellers sweep the thing all the way down to the 14s. So thank God for a stop, because that would have been bad. So you're going to see me do it again here after a minute or so. Again, I do it right here again, where we had sort of like a sweep down to the 490, and then all of a sudden the buyers are coming back to push this. And again, it's a tough trade, right? Because you're not really trying to call a bottom, but you're trying to play opposite the trend momentum, which is a tough call really, because sometimes you can nail it and sometimes it'll just get washed out like me this time. So these trades were not great, and you're going to see here we try to push above 500 and then we immediately get answered by the sellers, and then I'm out right there, 488. I'm out of that trade, and it happened twice. So 2 times the same trade right there, where I get washed out of the long trade by those sellers that just don't let up. And again, this is a popular pattern. I've seen this one occur a lot. When there's momentum in one direction, you always want to keep an eye on the counter the market momentum and then see how it gets answered afterwards. So what I mean by that is, in this case, the sellers were strong. We had some buyers that kind of pushed it. We had like a couple of these little pops here, and then they immediately get answered by more sellers. So that's not a sign that you want to stay long. It's a sign that you want to fade against those longs that are trying to enter on those little pops. So like me that time. Those are my two losers for the day. And again, could have just been short this entire thing and caught the whole move down, but I didn't. Nice 800,000 share lot that just came in there at 950 on the Qs. And again, so those were my two losers for the day, and they were just counter trend long trades while the market is just absolutely dumping. So right here is when I was thinking about getting long for the next time, but because I had taken two losers at that point, I wasn't really jumping to get long. But it so happened that, so what actually happened was I got short here, and you're going to see we had this little mini pullback. Because of how the sellers were answering, I decided to fade it and resulted in a pretty nice profit on this trade. So just keep an eye on these sellers here. We're selling, we're selling, we're selling. I'm short. And then I should be out right there, yeah, 408. But I think that we managed to trade lower, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, we actually trade higher. So you're going to see me get long there. So I actually get long at 430. But you're going to see me get long and then stop out pretty quickly. So I have my sell stop and then I'm out of the trade at 38. So I got long around 33 and then I was out around 38. Bit of a tricky one, and I think that we managed to trade in a trading range after that, and we slowly trade higher. So the long trade became quite tricky, and you're going to see me, I was looking for a few trades there, but I wasn't really confident about any of this. So where was the next trade? All right, so let's look at this move right here. So look at the chart on the left here. And you can see how we pulled back into the trading range, and then we tried to move lower and failed by like a tick or two, okay? This right here is a dangerous game. What's happening here is that both sides of the market are kind of getting trapped in different directions. So when this stuff is happening, you need to learn how to just sit back and watch, and don't trade impulsive price moves, because I've been caught in them a few times, and I've learned now just to sit back and watch it and wait for those real quality momentum setups to come through. So this 420 area, Elon 420, every time it trades down there, it gets swamped by buyers that kind of come to push this back up. So you're going to see this happen again, where we try to trade lower and then we trade right back up. So look, we trade all the way down to 410 or something, break the low, and then boom, the buyers push it right back up. So what that does, again, it'll trap out any shorts, any weak shorts who are trying to get in short over here, okay? And again, this is sort of like a wedge formation. So when you see this stuff happening, just kind of sit back and watch. So what ends up happening is we came back to the resistance, couldn't push above it. Sooner or later, traded lower under the 410s. See, again, another time trading lower, break the thing by a few ticks, and then pop right back up to the resistance. So that's just shorts getting washed out there. And then sooner or later, we managed to trade lower. So great example of a wedge pattern in an overall downtrend. And it's just washing out these shorts every time they try to aggressively short it near the lows. At least 4 times. So once, twice, 3 times, and then we start to trade lower under 400. So from there, that momentum started to kick in, and then we traded much lower into the 300s. And then the bulls came back around these 350s, pushed it right back to 400, and then sooner or later we're trading higher. I almost took this long trade right here, but again, I wasn't so convinced, because every time we'd come up to these 450s, we would get rejected hard. So we had one time, and then another time get rejected, another time get rejected. And you can see how every time it's coming for a pullback, it's forming a higher low, which means it's finding buyers around the 30s, but every time it pushes to the 450s, it gets rejected. So that's just a sign that the range is tightening, and we want to be patient and wait for it. Forming some form of a tightening pattern, and then you're going to see this pop and break 450, and once it broke 451, let's watch the tape here. So we have some buyers that are trying to hit in here, and then they start to hit in 456, and then that was it. So once we pushed above 455, 456, the bulls just took care of it, and the shorts got squeezed out. Really interesting price action. And you're going to see here, look all the way to 490. I took a little long scalp there, but again, I wasn't confident of that, and I used my stop quickly. All right, we're going to look at this trade right here. So market's moving up. We moved above the VWAP here. We're trading in the 560s, and I'm seeing mixed action on the tape. And I'm thinking of shorting this as a failed breakout. So look at that seller momentum coming in here. And I want to see the sellers continue to push this down into the 540s and lower. So you're going to see me get short here. Just after I see a bit more sellers. There we go. I hit it. So I'm short at 551. And I'm looking for these sellers to kind of push this down. Okay. You're going to see me get out of this trade too early. Look at that. I cut it at 548.75. I cut it way too early. Way too early. I needed to let this one play out a little bit, because I knew that there were longs trapped, and I wanted to see how the buyers were going to answer these sellers. And you're going to see us try to push 550. We can't quite do it. Sellers are answering more, and now the longs are getting trapped here, because you can see here we had this consolidation range and a bull break these bulls are trapped here, and that's why we're pushing lower. Like, I missed a great short, so I was short at 550. I was up 20 handles at this point. I cut it too early at that point, so that was me just cutting way too early on that. You know, better safe than sorry, of course, but at the same time, I had to give it a little bit more breathing room. So I'm trying to fine tune that space between learning when to give it some breathing room and learning when to be more aggressive with your break-even stop. In the some cases where it's just a quick scalp and you're playing some very quick momentum, probably just lock in that stop as soon as you can. But in the case where you're a little bit curious about how the opposite side of the market's going to interact with the trade, in that case you want to just give it a little bit of room, you know. And you see, I was in that trade for probably not even 15 seconds, and if I would have just waited 30 or 40 more seconds, or in this case 2 minutes, I would have been up 25 handles right there. So bit of a tricky one, and yeah, that's it. So we're going to see how the market kind of chills here around these 30s, and then we see another bear break. We traded all the way down to 490. So great failed breakout there that brought us back into the trading range. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.